How's it going? Finished off the shade house over the last week or so, so I thought I'd just give you a quick look at how we've done it this year. Just at the back here, back fence. I asked the neighbour and he said it was okay. It's not going to pull the fence over. We've connected a run of 30% shade cloth. It's just over this bed and this bed here, protect the watermelons and pumpkin and some spaghetti squash we got coming up. So this one here has just been zip tied, and I got some leftover pipe from the aquaponics, just raising the cloth a bit for us tall people. That's just going over, there's a bit of a batten up there, just letting it come out a bit. Sorry for blinding you there. And from there we have it onto the first hoop. We remade the hoop house, so we've got a nice big hoop going all the way across here, and the next one is the insect house. This one here is going to be going over, well, just for now, our alums or onions and garlic and shallots and some leeks in this barrel here. But eventually what we'll do is these guys will be coming out. We'll have some leafy greens in here, one row of beans down there and some leafy greens at the front. So the idea, what I'm working on is the theory that if it fruits or roots, it needs sun, and if it's greens, it needs shade. So pretty much we're just going to keep this in here for leafy greens. The one exception will be some cucumbers grown across the back trellis up there. The way I'm supporting the roof at the moment is with curtain rods, just until something else comes along. It doesn't have to hold a great deal of weight, and also too, there's not a great deal of lift if there's a big storm. We've had some whoppers come through here, and I got some footage somewhere of them. Trees are bending over, and the shade house is pretty much all just sitting nice and pretty. So all I've done is bolted these curtain poles onto some star pickets, and then the curtain poles are then wired onto the roof here, so that's to prevent any lift or fall. This pipe is a thinner pipe, I think it's about 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches, so it's not as strong as the other. That's why we've pretty much using these guys as a bit of a central support. This one here, I don't know if you can really make it out, but this pipe here is a 50mm or 2-inch pipe, and it's got no central supports whatsoever up in there. It holds its shape nicely, even in the really, really hot days, 40 degrees plus days, so we don't have any worry with that. This little arch here, I pinched off the idea of VeggiePatchInPerth. He has these little arches. It just helps connect the two hoops together and gives them a bit more stability, and also keeps it off my head because I'm a little bit taller. And another idea I pinched off him is, I don't know if you can see up here, I used to whack a screw just straight down through the middle. Doing it from the sides now makes a lot more sense. I actually have to come back through now and wire these guys on and wire these on now that I'm happy how everything's sitting. Rightio, this one here, another bit of bent curtain rod, is holding up this centre a little bit, because this centre arc, even though it is made from a thicker pipe, is actually made from 3 sections of pipe. What I've done is I've slid a thinner section of pipe through the centre and screwed it into place. There's screws all the way along there just to keep it nice and firm, and it's holding the weight nicely, and this is just trying to take a little bit of the weight off it just to alleviate some of the downward pressure. But again, it's fine. It doesn't look like it's going to collapse at all. The 50% is just zip tied on in 3 places at the end of where the arcs are, or arches are. Up here where I have had to join these guys, I've pretty much will just lay the top hat on top of itself and then just run some pop rivets through. Probably see better from this angle. I've just run a couple of pop rivets through. I just don't really want to go out and spend a whole heap of money that I don't have to, so I'm reusing as much stuff as I can, and that's nice and firm. It's not going to fall at all. The only concern I have here is this new arch at the end might need a bit of a central support, so got another curtain rod down there just for up there, but we'll just see what happens. If they are needed and I think the curtain rods aren't doing good enough, I'll go out and source some other material. Another thing that I have done is add a length. I have had to go out and buy how many meters? I think it was 18 meters of this top hat. I'd really like to use bamboo, but unfortunately this is what I can get in my area. This top hat here goes all the way across to the central top hat on the aquaponics greenhouse, and I've just cut it open and popped it on the top. It'll be wired on as well, and just to give it some stability, because it's also been joined to let it reach, I've got a, here's something different. I've got an outside pergola, or little canopy setup legs, bolted onto the aquaponics. Just up there, then a bit of pipe, just to give it some stability there. So, and some of my helpful friends, zip ties holding it all into place. Zip ties and wire, where would I be without them? So, that's pretty much all this section here. And what I've done here is there's a nice little central entrance spot. I've just made an extra hoop go all the way down from one side of the bed to the other, and we've got the 30% is a 6 metre wide roll, and it stretches over nicely. It's made a beautiful little entrance, I think, so I'm rather impressed with that. And from there we've added another section out here. It's about 3,000 mil, actually a bit under 3 metres, so it's just coming out here just to take a bit of the sting out from the 3 wicking beds at the end here. I have some okra that was supposed to go into that end one today, but time got away from me. And I also have, there's some bull's horn and some capsicums, and I've got some other chilies in here that might end up in there as well. These pineapples are all moving as well. We've got 2 that are fruiting this year, so we're going to put them somewhere else, and these guys hopefully will go out the front. That's another story. Over the aquaponics, last year we had the water temperature rise pretty high and we weren't happy with it. So from this hoop here down past the actual fish tank, that's the fish tank, I'm going to run another row of 90% shade cloth right over the top there. So that'll pretty much will knock out all direct sunlight on the fish tank. So that's pretty much all the setup. I do have to wire the ends of some of these top hats on. I just like to wire them on the end, so a single piece will be wired there, and they're wired there in the centre somewhere, and also down further, just to give them a little bit more stability. And I also need to zip tie some of the shade cloth on, but yeah, I just want to make sure before I do it. It's been up for 24 hours now. I'll just leave it another day or so, make sure I'm happy with the way it sits. But I'm fairly certain I will be, and then I'll just go through and zip them on. Just to show you as well the 2 different ways we do this, I haven't wired these guys on yet, but I will be. This 50mm pipe, I actually had to go out and buy some more of this for the end hoop here and for this central one. 2 different ways you can do it. This one is actually slid over the top of a star picket. It's a nice easy fit straight over the top, and just being buzzed by lorikeets here. And down here is probably a better way to place to show you. The holes in the star pickets, you can actually line them up. They're a set distance apart. Drill a hole through this, straight through the hole in the star picket, run some wire on, that'll just hold it very neatly in place. I mean, you could run a small bolt through if you really wanted to. Actually, you can probably see on this one, this is one that's slid over the top there, and I've just wired him on through there, drilled a hole, and he's been wired through there. So the hole's in there and the wire just wraps around through the star picket, and there's no way that's going to move. This is a nice thick plastic, this stuff. So there's another piece of it that I've cut off to make a clip out of. So, and the other way that I attach them is by, I had to take this one off yet and haven't reattached it. Drill a hole through the pipe and just run a section of wire through that and through one of the holes on the star picket. It keeps them nice and firmly in place. You don't have to, there's no way it's going to move from there. I have had some of the smaller pipe where it comes up over the top here at the star picket. If there's too much pressure or too much of a bend on it, it will actually crimp the pipe. The only way I'd probably change these structures is by building them out of bamboo. If I had the property in the room, the space, I'd grow some construction bamboo as well as some edible ones. That stuff's just amazing. The height of the scaffolding they can get in some Asian countries out of that bamboo is pretty phenomenal. And I think it's pretty much all, the top hat could be replaced, the hoops could be replaced. The star pickets could be replaced, and the only thing we'd have to pretty much all buy is the wire, zip ties and shade cloth, and I'm sure we could get away without using wire and zip ties. Humans did for centuries, eons, millennia. Yeah, so I suppose that's pretty much all it. Hope you enjoyed the clip. Any comments, questions, suggestions, drop them in the comments section below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So take it easy and have a great one.